Hey, how have you been, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Supergirl. This time we're on season 4, episode 11, titled Blood Memory. And I did, in order to actually get the episode for this, the name for this episode right in the file, I had to Google it, and I didn't come across any spoilers or anything like that, but I did come across the basic kind of episode synopsis, which I kind of. I usually come across on a weekly basis anyway when I actually Google the episodes. But yeah, this one is called Blood Memory, and it's far more Nia-centric than any episode before it has been, and a reason for that is because we return to Nia's hometown, where her mother and her sister are residing, and it's I mean, it didn't say anything too specific in the synopsis, but I am assuming that we will be getting a fair amount, both Earth-based and Noltor-based of Nia's background. And as we all know, Nia is a transgender woman. She's a transgender character. So I don't know how much of that background is going to be explored in this. Obviously, the more educational it is, the better. Not the more, the better, but the more educational it is, the better. Obviously, I personally do hope that Nicole herself actually had a fair amount of I hope that she was in charge of a fair amount of whatever was said in terms of Nia being transgender and her background being explored in this. Having an actual first-hand kind of account of what should be explored, what's kind of what doesn't need to be explored, what doesn't need to be said, stuff like that. But yeah, the more educational it is and the more informative it is in that sense, the better. And upon I was thinking about that a little bit before having started recording, and I thought, you know what, now might be a good time to bring this up. I did bring it up very, very, very briefly in editing when I was watching the episode after Nia had come out to James as transgender, but I'll bring it up again now. So yeah, again, Nicole Maines herself, she is a transgender advocate, and a brilliant one at that. One of the many transgender people in the media today, and she also has a book called Becoming Nicole. I'm gonna show you guys right now. I have it. It's literally the one and only ebook I've actually bought this year. Well, not even this year. I bought it for myself last Christmas. But yeah, I don't know how well it's actually gonna focus. I'll open the preview up just to check it. But yeah, it's I don't know how well that's gonna focus. Come on, focus. Come on. Show the title. There we go. So you can see the title there, Becoming Nicole. I'm 35% of the way in, so I think 9 or 10 chapters, I think. But I've been reading it quite a bit in my downtime. I didn't get the chance to read it as soon as I got it. I had a couple of other stuff come up, but I have been reading it so far, and I've been enjoying it a lot. And it's a book that talks about Nicole growing up transgender and her struggles and her kind of fight to live freely as a transgender woman, and it's just about her struggles and her what she went through, what her and her family actually went through. I'm not very far in. I think there's about 30 chapters, I think. I'm not sure, 20 to 30 maybe, and I'm only 9 in, so I'm not really very far into her story as a whole. But it's been a very, very good read so far. It really has been, and I've been enjoying it a lot. So if you guys are interested, this is the ebook. I think they do have paperbacks still available for it. But yeah, and this isn't promotional or anything. I'm just raising awareness for it, which is the basic definition of promoting something, but I'm not being sponsored by the publisher or whatever. This is just I saw that this was this episode was going to be a look into Nia's background and her history, and I thought, hey, it would be cool to kind of show that this is out there on the internet for people to read and enjoy and stuff. This is something from Nicole's background herself. So yeah, it's a great book. It's a great read. Go read up on it. And but yeah, I just wanted to kind of share that it's been a great read, and it's been emotional and shed a few tears here and there. I'm only 9 chapters in, so I'm sure I'm going to be sobbing like a crybaby a few more in. But yeah, and I've just been watching I watched her TED talk as well, her TEDx talk, which was great as well. Which again, it showcases a similar story, similar stories from the book as well. So yeah, just go check it out and have a good read on it. I really should have planned this out, because like this kind of stuff, like actually talking about this, I'm not so good at, like from my from an improvisational sense. So I didn't really write down that I needed to talk about it, but probably should have. But yeah, it's a great book, so go check it out and just support me, be an ally. So yeah, but that's that. But yeah, so we are on Blood Memory this time, and in the last episode we had the last episode ended with Alex being mind wiped because Lauren Haley was just being a worn out old hag, and she was just interrogating everyone at the DEO to try and find out Kara's identity. It wasn't bad enough for her that Kara got fired from the DEO, but she wanted something that would allow her to control Kara, and to keep her in line as Supergirl. So she resorted to trying to interrogate all the agents and everything. And one of them had unfortunately broken and revealed, through no fault of her own, she'd broken and she revealed Kara's identity. And then Alex, being the badass that she is, just knocked her out cold in the corridor next to a cell, and then Kara threw her into said cell. Actually, no, well, someone threw her, and it wasn't specifically Kara, but then Jean came along and he wiped her mind, but then that didn't really help things, and she sought out the help of a truth seeker, which has a different alien name, which I'm just not aware of at this point. But then Jean, Alex, and Brainy came to the conclusion that they would have to wipe the minds of every agent at the DEO who knows Kara's name. Not only that, but wipe Alex's mind as well. So they wiped the agent's minds, they wiped Alex's mind. So now from here on out, she will still know Kara, she will still know Supergirl, she'll still know everything about her job at the DEO. She just won't know that Kara is actually Supergirl. So when she realizes that, that's going to be one hell of a mindfuck for her. But I personally think they should have done like a video beforehand where past knowledgeable her informs mind-wiped her that, this was all consensual, she volunteered for this and it was the best case scenario in a shitty situation and all of that stuff. But I don't know if they did that off screen or if they're going to do that at all. But that's just what I think would have worked, to be honest. But yeah, so she was investigating agents, and now she can continue to interrogate agents all she wants, but they will, no one will be able to give it up because they don't know that information has been completely erased from their minds, including Alex's, so she will get nowhere looking for Alex, looking for Kara even. But yeah, that was that. Brainy and Brainia had a date. Well, not a date, no, not really. I mean, they had what Nia thought was going to be a dinner date, and she dressed up very nicely and looked very presentable for the occasion. She looked genuinely amazing. And Brainy as well, my boy, cleaned up nice and, conditioned his hair. Well, I think he conditioned his hair. And wore a nice sweater and everything. But he did not come along to the premise of a date. He came along to the premise of a nice meetup where they ate food and also went through his binder of costume ideas, of suit ideas that he had put together, along with some code names. And at the end of the episode, we did see her looking through that binder, looking at the different outfits. But at first, she did say that she wasn't really interested in doing that kind of superhero work with Supergirl. But I think maybe at the end, she might have been just considering it, maybe just looking through what there was. So yeah, and then at the end of it, I think what was going to lead into this episode, she got a phone call from her sister Maeve about going back home and something about her mother's birthday or something. And I think from the synopsis I read that her hometown is having a harvest festival of some sort. So I think that's also going to play into it. But it's going to be a nice kind of look into her past and her background, and I think it will be a nice blend of her human family, like human life, and also her life as an alien from Notor. So, you know, that's gonna be nice. But I don't know if her mother and sister are aliens as well, or if it's like an adoption thing going on there as well. Because I think Sam was adopted, Samantha, she was adopted, Kara was adopted. So I don't know if that's gonna be the same like situation for Nia, or if like her mother's going to be like her biological alien mother, or if her sister's going to be like her biological alien sibling, or what's going to be happening. But it'll be a nice look into her background and seeing what's what with Nia, seeing what's up with Nia. So yeah, that is pretty much all I have. Think nothing hugely kind of seasonal plot arc here happened in the last episodes. I don't know how soon we're going to be going back into the season arc yet, but this should still be a great episode nonetheless. So yeah, so episode 11 titled Blood Memory. Let's go. She's turning into 11. She's trying to open a gate. Can they defibrillate a Kryptonian?
Maximum.
The maximum 5. Jesus Christ. Whoa. Oh, that's sending shockwaves around the planet. Damn. Oh, those drugs? Is he gonna give them powers and shit? Or... Oh, shit.
Why does Spencer look like Hagrid on steroids?
No idea, but we should
He's turning into is he turning into an alien? Are they turning into aliens? Damn.
Nope, no.
And it's game night.
That's the Terminator 2, duh. No, that's your favorite. Come on, Alex.
Oh, she's a Terminator fan.
I'm totally blanking. Duty calls. Never fails. Well, at least Haley's out of town. Sorry, guys.
Oh, looks like she forgot more than Kara's Supergirl.
Hey, happy to help, Alex.
One more thing. I would really appreciate it if you would address me as Director Danvers.
That stings. That stings. That very, very much stings.
I mean, not knowing that my favorite movie is The Wizard of Oz, Eliza thought that I would relate to the adventures of a young girl being lost in a faraway land.
That makes a lot of sense.
Because first commandment of road trips, thou shalt defer to the driver's choice of music.
Hey, as long as you're not picking any one direction, I'm good.
Toxins. No, not just human. Frat boys.
Frat boy is an entirely different species of human.
When did your mom come from Maltor?
I can't imagine having grown up anywhere else.
Because you have parents from 2 different planets?
Yeah, but also because I'm trans. I always knew that I was a girl. My parents were amazing. They affirmed my authentic self and helped me transition young. I've always been able to be open about who I was in Parthas. I'm not saying it was easy. There were definitely people who didn't understand. But the town's ethos of inclusion is strong.
I'm not crying, there's dust in my eyes.
Anywhere else, it would have been a lot tougher.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
Of course.
Thank you for sharing with us all, Nia.
Just one other thing. When you meet my family, please don't mention the dreaming powers. It's just
Oh
that
god, my ears are going hot.
and
I'm gonna take a guess and say that's not coffee. Oh shit. No, that's liquid infinity stones. Then she's a raven now. Or a crow.
Gosh, are you okay?
That was a mindfuck of a dream.
no.
Just one?
Yeah, just one. Unless, of course, she is cursed with future blindness. In which case, it skips a generation.
It's not gonna happen, Maeve. I told you when I was pregnant with you, I dreamt that my daughter would have the gift. Just give it time.
Yeah, your daughter, not your daughters. I mean, I don't want to say she's still not going to get it, but I mean...
Reports of 2 more rage attacks.
Sometimes the placebo can be very effective.
What kind of
I'm gonna
placebo?
lie to her.
I don't want to. You're fine.
No, that's what you're going to
Everything's
say.
normal.
Really? Thank God. Okay.
You're not crazy,
Stressful
Alex.
thing at work is lack of a partner. A good cop to your bad cop.
That makes sense.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I need the opposite of a cop. Brainy, how are your acting skills?
Wow.
Nice
I never thought
stance.
I'd be quoted in. Every year at Harvest Fest, jerks from neighboring towns come and protest.
Oh
They
shit.
hate humans and aliens mixing.
Fuck.
When you have something good, there's always gonna be people who want to tear it down.
Knew it had to be too good to be true.
Don't worry.
Every time you like something, Liberty comes along and fucks it up.
Rose, who are you? We met last night.
Oh, he's trying to mix in with the frat boys.
Sick rager, BT dubs. Why are you in here? Like you, I scored some of that sweet, sweet rage candy. The next thing I know, I'm tossed in here with you, fine gentlemen.
Well, whatever you do, don't breathe a word to that witch.
Of course
Oh,
not. I
shit.
would never.
How did you learn to speak dude, bro?
The same way they did.
Dude, bro.
The movies.
Well, thank you.
What movies did George learn? Dude,
For
bro.
everything.
What dude, bro movies are
Let's
there?
catch these guys before they can do any more damage. Mom?
Isabel?
Oh no, it bit you, Mom.
Wait, what bit her? What was it? What bit her? Was it a spider?
It's you.
My element was water. Yours is fire. And your fire will make you far more
Is Maeve's
powerful
Earth?
than I ever was.
Bad joke. Sorry. Sorry, not the time.
I would have been forewarned about Mom. I would have saved her.
Oh, Nia.
You've got to get dressed.
Oh, God. It's gonna have to happen. She's gonna have to tell her eventually.
Hey, Lena, I want to talk to you about something.
Now that looks like Monopoly money. That looks like Monopoly money.
Plans, little squeak.
Oh, that's why they took the pills. To give them the abilities to take down the other aliens. No, no, no. This is a bad sign. This is a bad sign.
I came to see how Alex was.
Great scarf.
Seen her?
With all this rage going on, we could use a man apiece.
Sure. You seem better.
I am.
It'd be awesome to see him kicking ass in a... Is that a waistcoat? Or a trench... No, not a trench coat. Some kind of coat. It's an awesome coat. She took the pill. She's gonna fight back against Liberty. Oh, she hasn't taken it yet, but she will take it. She's taking it now. Oh, God, they look amazing.
Maeve.
No, Nia. Kara, Maeve.
We'll catch you.
Oh, shit! Oh, is that a sign for her? Is she gonna be like, how the hell did you know about that? Oh, God. Oh, shit, 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 no! And Supergirl to the rescue.
You knew that axe was gonna hit the podium. You have the powers.
I can explain.
Don't touch me.
Oh, God. Oh, God, I knew that would happen. I knew that would happen. Figured she'd find out too soon.
Director Danvers, don't!
Oh, shit. Oh, crap. Oh, that's not gonna bode well.
You
No.
really think I don't know what it feels like to be vulnerable?
No, I don't. Now you either stand down, or I will arrest you too.
Alex, please don't do this to us. Not to Kara. Not to me, not to anyone else.
How did you, of all people, get the powers? They're supposed to be passed down from mother to daughter, so how did someone like you get them? You're not even a real woman.
Oh.
Maeve was always my biggest supporter. I can't believe she'd say something like that.
I do understand.
Is she gonna come out?
Probably better than anyone.
She's gonna come out. She's coming out. She's flying out. She's flying out.
I am Supergirl.
Mind wipe, did you?
Set.
I thought lying to her one more time would help, but it goes deeper than that. If this connection was a symptom, Alex grew up with a sister from another planet, a superhero. Without that memory...
Beautiful.
Watch the movie if you don't want to die.
It's if you want to live.
What was that impression?
Oh, you goober.
That voice was just a few octaves off. A few octaves off. Back in Kaznia.
У нас проблема.
No problem.
Мне нужно связаться кое с кем в Америке.
In America. Who in America? Who in America does he need to reach? Oh, is it the friend? The friend, the secret friend helping him control Russian Kara? I don't properly know where to start with this episode because there were some very nice elements to it, very nice plots, very nice, like one main plot, but very nice elements and convergences and characters. Wow, okay. So we went to Parthis. Parthis is where Nia's from, and it's nice that we actually had a visit to a place that is known for, was from what Nia told us, it's known for its kind of human and alien cohabitance, its coexistence, so to speak. Because because with all the problems we've been having with human and alien cohabitation in National City, it's nice to go somewhere where they actually can both understand each other and live with each other and no problems at all, until Liberty and his little offspring come and fuck it all up for us. Until that happens. But yeah, so Nia's mother, Isabel, was the one from Noltor, and I think she fled the planet at 18 for love after having a dream that she would fall in love with a farm boy at a barn on Earth, and then she was taken in by the family that she was found by on Earth, and then fell in love with the boy at the farm, with their son, and that is one hell of like a story of destined love if I've ever heard of one. But yeah, so that happened, and Isabel, unfortunately, we have to give her a rest in peace because she did not make it in this episode. She was bitten by a spider of some sort. I don't know if that's like an Earth spider or a Noltor spider, some spider. She was bitten by a spider and died from said bite. But Nia saw the signs. She saw the signs, but she just couldn't interpret them properly. She was not as fluent as her mother or her sister in the dream language, so she couldn't actually interpret what the symbols actually meant, or like figure out what, like interpret them in time and like, you know, see them as those kinds of premonitions. But she did still see her mother dying as something from the future. She did see that as a premonition still. She couldn't interpret it to the level to the same kind of level that Maeve or like even Isabel herself could. I mean, I don't know if as a dreamer you can actually have premonitions of your own death. Like, I guess Nia did kind of have it, like with the Children of Liberty in the factory attempting to shoot her and Brainy and Kara. Like, she saw that coming, but I think at the same time that was going to hurt them as well. So it was to do more with other people, but she was just included. So that happened. What else? And probably the like one of the scenes that made me kind of happiest, I'd say, like one of the scenes that seemed best in this episode, and that was, I'm gonna watch it again, but that was like Nia coming out as trans to Kara. And I didn't really see it coming, but I'm glad they addressed it, because I think, you know, it's been a huge kind of talk of the series and of the show since she came out, or since her casting overall, but since she came out to James at the beginning of the season as well. It's been a big talk since then. But her coming out to James was more to talk about, like, you know, it was more to kind of put the violence of humans against aliens into context, to put that kind of hatred into context, and, you know, just talking about her own experiences of like hatred, like because she's different, like how she's faced that. Whereas with Kara, it's actually her talking about her being trans and her actually having grown up being identifying as such, and like the the struggles she faced, as well as, you know, the support she had along the way as well. She said her parents and her family as a whole were very, very supporting throughout her transition, and, you know, like everything that happened with them, it happened very smoothly. But then she did face struggles with some people who didn't really understand it that much. So I am very, very glad they like addressed that in such like a kind of equal-sided, I guess, kind of way. Like, no, I think, you know, like it's rare to, I think it's rare to hear a coming out that isn't like, it's rare to hear a coming out that doesn't have a negative reaction from someone. Like, there's always going to be someone who reacts negatively, but, you know, like what we can't hope for is that, you know, like most people, or at least like more people, have like understanding kind of reactions to it. And her family did, but some people didn't. But I'm gonna go back and watch that again. But that was honestly a beautiful scene. Brought me to tears. Yeah, and yes, I know you guys aren't idiots. I lied. It wasn't fucking dust in my eye. Or allergies. It was actually me feeling emotional. Yeah. Okay. So oh, there they come again. Okay. So yeah, so her parents allowed her and helped her to affirm her true gender identity and to like align her gender identity with her biological sex from a young age. Well, I mean, I don't know when that stuff happened, but they allowed her to affirm her gender from a young age. So she was allowed to transition from a young age, and, you know, like for the most part, like since Parthis was like a tolerant and understanding community, it helped even more. Like, but there were still people who didn't understand, and she faced intolerance and potentially hatred from them as well. But for the most part, it was like a kind of comfortable and easy process, and she was allowed to be open about who she really was. And hearing that just, you know, it just really makes me happy. It really makes me happy. So, you know, and like even reading like Nicole, so I think I saw the TED talk that Nicole did, and I saw the clip of her on Ellen that was done like when she was announced as like a trans actor playing a trans character on Supergirl. She blew up all over the media. So I saw the interview she had on Ellen, and even then, like, you know, like her she did begin transitioning from a young age, but there were definitely struggles. And I'm glad they addressed it from both sides. Like I said, it wasn't perfect. Like, for the most part, it was easy, but there were still struggles that she faced. But I think I'd like to think it kind of allowed her to kind of fight through that and evolve as a person as well, and, like, you know, and it allowed her to fight for her own. I mean, she shouldn't really have to fight for her own like her right to live as, you know, as she truly is, but, you know, at the same time, I would like to think it allowed her to evolve in some sense. But that was a beautiful scene. I do not want the update right now. Go away, Windows. But yeah, it was a beautiful scene. It was a really beautiful scene, and you know, I think that only makes Maeve's anger towards her later on in the episode sting even more. Because, you know, it's when you look into it, and or even see it in the media, but when you look into it to try and to try and educate yourself on these topics, it's very easy to see the kinds of intolerance and hatred that LGBT people as a whole face. Like the basic kind of hatred, like that, oh, it's not normal to be this or that, like it doesn't conform to society standards, or, you know, like some people bring religion or science or something into, like, they like some people just bring anything they can into it that could possibly stand as a reason to say why it isn't normal. And I think from what I have found, it's like, you know, like saying you're lesbian or gay or bisexual, it's not so much easier to come out as that, but it's easier in the sense that the concept behind it is like a lot more understandable. Like you're attracted to the same sex, or you're attracted to both genders and sexes, and it's like that overall concept is easy to understand. But you know, like there are a lot of people who don't really understand how being transgender works, or like how you can identify as that. So you know, it's like because of that coming out as transgender, it's like it's easy to see how it could be harder, and especially when like that is like so many trans people face like hear those kinds of words like, oh, like, you know, you can do whatever you want, you will never truly be this gender, you're not like a real like man or woman or anything like that. So hearing those words from Maeve struck a chord, like, you know, saying, oh, it's like these powers were meant to be passed from mother down to daughter, so like there's no way you could possibly have it when you're not even a real woman. Like it struck a very, very visible, shocking chord with Nia, and like as soon as I heard that, like my heart just dropped. But you know, it's it's a prime example of the kind of like intolerance that trans people face. And you know, like I am like gonna like guess that it's like, you know, it like growing up, it was the kind of intolerance that she had to face like from other people as well, like people just constantly maybe telling her, you know, she'll never truly be a woman, or she'll never those kinds of words. I'm not going to try and go too deep into that hatred. I mean, it's important to address it, but I don't want to pander to that hatred in any fashion. But that was that scene that was really hard to watch. That was hard to watch. And then, you know, like you know, she's like, I think, you know, like Nia, like she knows that Maeve was just upset and angry, but at the same time, it's like those words were too much. That was too much of a line, and you know, it's like I mean, it's easy to understand that Maeve has gone this long believing and hoping and praying, like practically praying for these powers to actually come down into her hands, and all of a sudden she finds out that her sister has had these powers for months. And I think, you know, like at that point she's very, very upset. She's upset that she's always been upset that she doesn't have them, and now she's just filled with anger that her sister had them and never told her. Maybe like potentially out of love as well, like she didn't want to hurt her feelings, but now like it hurts worse knowing that she like had them all this time and Maeve never even knew. So it like I mean she I mean it makes sense that she would kind of dig deep into her anger and like just say something like without even realizing what she says or how it could affect Nia. But at the same time, it's like just knowing what trans people go through and like the hatred that they face. It's just like it's hard to kind of hear those words and not kind of like feel that pain or even understand that pain to some extent. Even if you're not trans, it's like hard to like not kind of empathize with someone in that position. And you know, like with Nia, like she knows who she is and what she is, and she's comfortable in that. But then like hearing someone like just hearing someone say like, oh, you're not who you are, or you're not what you are, it's understandably a very, very difficult position to be in, and a very, very kind of, you know, they're the kinds of words that really tear you down very, very easily. But I mean, Nia, she is not only a woman, but she's a strong woman. She's a strong woman, and she, you know, she has gone her entire life knowing that, you know, there are people out there who don't understand it, but she has been able to fight past that and move past that and know who she is because of the support of her family. You know, and I think like that just makes me love her even more and even be proud of her as well. So yeah, getting a little bit emotional here as well, but you know what? It's very, very good to address these kinds of things. I think, you know, I think more and more TV shows these days are actually incorporating this stuff into like just all sorts of LGBT stuff. We got gay characters, we got a trans character here. We have I think that there's a trans character played by a trans actress in Sense8 as well. I think I've heard of that Netflix show, but I've never actually seen it myself. But there's all sorts of LGBT people in the media, and it's honestly just great representation. It really is. Just great rep. So, you know, hats off to Nicole Maines, just hats off to you for pulling off this episode so well and just, you know, showing us the strength behind, you know, your fist, your hands and your words and your self, essentially. But yeah, she is a queen. She is a queen. So yeah, what else? So Alex and Kara, their relationship really changed in this episode, and it was easy to see how much it was. And you know, again, I said it in the beginning. I mean, I said it in the last episode. Like, you know, it's because like so much of their relationship was forged through Alex knowing that Kara was Supergirl and Kara was like this, that she was an alien, and like knowing her struggles and eventually coming to terms with, you know, like being able to sympathize and empathize with that, but also just trusting her with that, and actually, you know, just being there for her. Like they have both had each other's backs on equal on equal levels with equal love and everything. So, you know, taking that away, it takes away a lot from Kara and Alex's relationship alone. We saw at the beginning with the game night thing, like, you know, like Alex couldn't remember something so precious to Kara, and then as like Supergirl and Kara, like, you know, I think you know, like growing. I think back in the Midvale episode, you could very easily see the tension between Alex and Kara. Like they're like you know, like Kara hated that Alex couldn't really spare any moment of sympathy or anything for her, like, or just any kind of compassion after everything she had lost. And, you know, like Alex blamed Kara for Jeremiah having gone and having lost her father, and for being kind of thrust into the whole babysitting position with Kara, which neither of them wanted. Like there were just a lot of like kind of tensions and rivalries between them that took a long time to get through, but they did eventually get through it though. They solved the murder of Kenny Lee, and just, you know, they eventually grew together. Like, instead of actually staying apart, they grew together and came to love each other as siblings, and as family and everything. And you know, when you take something like that, that's been their strongest bond so far, that they are family. And taking away that kind of knowledge and that kind of bond, it can change a lot. It really can. And like, see, like her as Supergirl, I think I did kind of anticipate how she would be with Supergirl, like, you know, like the, you know, like, please refer to me as Director Danvers in the future. That made sense to me, because, like, you know, like, she doesn't know that Supergirl is Kara, she doesn't know her on a personal level, she knows her on a professional level, so she's going to maintain some professionalism out in the field. So, you know, that one made more sense to me than anything else. It still stung like a bee for Kara, but it made sense that she wouldn't immediately be like, oh, hey, Kara, how's your day been? How's, you know, like, shit like that. So that one made more sense. But then the final one, you know, I think she definitely kind of felt more like, not so much of a grudge, but felt more of like, you know, like she looked up at Kara like a god. Like she looked up at, like, I mean, she kind of talked about the fact that so many people look up at Supergirl as a god, like this girl of steel, this, you know, this all-powerful character that just has everything and she's unstoppable and everything. And because she's invincible, it makes it like, you know, it makes it seem as though she's invulnerable. Like, you can't hurt her. Like, she's bulletproof. Like, you know, unless you've got kryptonite on you, you can't really, you know, get into her, get under her skin. But that's exactly what Alex did. She got under Kara's skin because she said, you know, like, you know, because you're unstoppable, nothing can hurt you, you know. But not everyone's like that. Like, you're invulnerable to any kind of hurt. But, you know, I think even in the heat of the moment, Alex didn't really consider any kind of emotional hurt. So where was I? Alex's relationship with Kara, yeah, so that professionalism is still there, but the familial, like, well, the professionalism in the final scene really stung, but like, the familial love and everything is for the most part still there. But Jean did say that kind of blood memory, like that, like what makes their bond, that's what's shifted because of the information that was taken out. Like, so much of their bond and their history is based upon Alex knowing this about Kara and being connected to her in that way, because again, Kara became Supergirl and used her powers first to save her. So with that information taken away, it's like it really shifts, it really pushes their relationship off the balance. And you know who we have to thank for all this? Colonel Haley. So fuck her, just screw her to Kingdom Come. But yeah, what else? We had Lena game night training. That was very, very cute and cool to see. Don't know what game. I think they were playing some kind of trivia game. It didn't really look too much like Monopoly because it had pieces I've never seen before. But I think for the game night they always have like trivial type games anyway, so that was cool. And James decided not only to not pursue the lead that reporter had on Lena in terms of like the clouded funding, but also to actually drop that article as well. So I think now the route he's taking is that, you know, if Lena trusts him with something, or if Lena actually feels comfortable telling him something, he will wait until it's right to tell her. Because so far, you know, he's just like he's kind of pestered her with information, and it's just led them nowhere good. So, you know, I think now he's very much going to try and take the route of, like, you know, giving her the space that she needs and giving her the benefit of the doubt when she seems like she's hiding something, maybe, or maybe just trusting her enough to actually leave her to her own business. I mean, it is Elcourt business after all, so trusting her and leaving her alone to do whatever business she's doing, essentially. But, you know, like, I mean, I don't think she's actually, I think what the funding they found was from everything from before, because we haven't seen or heard about her doing anything since Adam's death. So I think that was pretty much the line for her. Like, now she's, for the most part, like, ceased all, like, you know, so she's like ceased all kind of experimentation with it so far until she finds a better way to kind of reboot it. But she did tell, she did actually tell James about the Heronel and the experiments she was running, so she told him that much. So, you know, right now I feel like if he needs to know more, or if Lena feels he needs to know more, that she can tell him more, then she will tell him. I think, you know, James took that as a sign of trust on its own. So yeah, it seems like they are slowly climbing back up from that ladder, from the pit of tension that they had both fallen into before. So that's good to see. That's good to see. But I still want my Supercore at the end of the day. So writers, get down to it. So the premonitionary powers, I think they do actually skip a child in the generation. So it's like, since I think I assume that Nia and Maeve are from the same generation. They look old enough to be they both look like they're the same age. So I think it'd be safe to say that they are both from the same generation. But I think I think that's a brilliant thing as well. I mean, you know, obviously, like, she was, I don't know if she was bestowed with them upon birth, but then it actually manifested itself and actually activated at a certain time. But the fact that she gets the powers that the women on her planet get, I think that does a great job of actually reaffirming her womanhood as well, and reaffirming her identity, which I think, you know, like, after those final words from Maeve, I think it's definitely going to take a hit to her identity, and like to how she feels, and like, you know, to how she views herself. Like, definitely going to take a hit, but it's not going to, I mean, I hope it doesn't tear her down completely, because she is so much more than just a woman. She's a strong person in her own right. But, you know, I think that in like that kind of power trait in itself, the fact that, you know, only the women of her planet get it, I think that's like makes it an even more special addition to her character as a superhero as well. But I think that's actually a lovely kind of like a really good kind of detail that they've added in as well. But I think it does, I mean, assuming they're from the same generation, I think in that case it just chooses maybe at random, maybe. Like, if it comes across a generation with two kids in the same generation, or two daughters in the same generation, and then it does just kind of choose one out of the two, maybe by random, maybe by some kind of factors. I don't know what kind of factors they would choose, because I think even like Nia said, like, you know, like, if anything, you know, like, Maeve was the one who actually studied for the powers, and she knew how to use them, how to control them. She studied like the dream language, she knew how to interpret it, and if she did have the powers, she could have saved Isabel in time. But with Nia, like, she never studied like her sister did. She never understood those powers, so it's why she wasn't able to interpret them as well, or at all, to like little to no interpretation is what she got out of it, because she couldn't really understand the symbolism behind different aspects of the dream. But yeah, so that's those powers, and Kara came out, or I should probably say flew out, of her superhero identity as Supergirl. So I did not fully see that coming. I think that was a nice reveal, I guess. I mean, I can see why. I mean, she has these superhero powers, and she has the ability to she has the potential to be a hero to like the same level that Kara is, and we've already seen her with a new suit. And likelihood is that Kara still knows that, you know, like in the foreseeable future, Nia will become a superhero because she's an important role. She plays a recognizable role to Brainy in the 53rd century. So in the foreseeable future, she does have some, you know, evolving as a hero to do. So, you know, it in that sense it makes sense, because she could use that to kind of guide her and to kind of teach her, and like to just raise her in those kind of superhero ways. And you know, I think as Supergirl, Kara does have a lot of vulnerability kind of going on that a lot of people kind of look past, just because she's bulletproof and pretty much just invulnerable to everything besides from kryptonite. And you know, a lot of people just mistake that for total physical and mental invincibility, but that's not true. We've seen time and time again that that's not true. So I think Kara related to Nia's kind of, not fully related to Nia's pain, but she did still kind of relate to the kind of emotional distress that she was feeling. So she did like take that moment to kind of show her that she's not alone in this. You know, she's from another world as well. Well, I mean, with Nia it would be half and half, wouldn't it? Because her mother was from Noltor, but her dad was human. Yeah, so that would be like she'd be half alien, right? And like the mother's half would be the dream powers that she has. Yeah, but regardless, like, you know, like Kara does sympathize a lot with her pain, and she does kind of empathize a lot with like how vulnerable and how she feels right now, essentially. So I like that she chose to like you know, and Nia chose to trust Kara with her coming out as trans. That was a big moment for her. I mean, like, it's always like they've grown fairly close since they first met in the season. So Nia has no reason to distrust Kara or think that she'd try and use that against her. You know, they've become good friends, so you know it makes sense that she would. But at the same time, she did choose to come out at this point, and you know, like with that kind of token of trust, I think it like Kara felt it only fair that she come out to her as well. So not to say that she regrets it at all, but at the same time, it's like, you know, like this is what Kara is trusting her with, and she knows Nia's not going to tell anyone about it. But it's just a chance for them to grow together as people and as heroes. So it was nice to see her revealing her true identity to Nia as well. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this episode. It was a great episode. Great to see some more backstory from Nia, and Nicole Maines really did a great job in this episode as Nia, and handled everything really, really well. Especially the scene at the end with Maeve, and just a great actress overall, just a brilliant actress, and really looking forward to seeing more of how she pulls off Nia in this, and looking forward to seeing other projects she has coming up. But yeah, that was Supergirl Season 4, Episode 11, titled Blood Memory. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and how you feel about this episode as a whole, and you know, just like how like the themes explored in this episode affected you as well. And you know, the comment section is always open for anyone, no matter like however you identify or feel. Like if you guys do want to talk about it, comment section is always open. And yeah, remember the book Becoming Nicole. Feel free, and also remember to go and check that out. But it is a genuinely great book, and I cannot wait to continue reading it some more. But yeah, that is it. So yeah, I will see you guys next time.